Hi, welcome to Forgotten Legends of Sound, and today is actually my pick. I wanted to run through this album, Unexpect, in a Flesh Aquarium, and gosh, I'm pretty excited to go through this album. So, I've been talking about doing this album for actually kind of a long time. It's like I always thought it would just be fun for people to go through a video of just someone. I mean, I'm sure there's probably videos out there of people listening to a song here or there, but to go through the entire album and everything and talk about it and everything, I think that would be kind of cool, because I don't view this album as exactly the simplest, easiest album to get into, And so I don't know. I'm pretty excited to jump into this album. I don't have much to say. I mean, we got into these guys at like 2007-ish or something. It was like shortly after it came out, but there's that time frame where at the time we were getting into like some avant-garde and just like Arcturus and other stuff, and Unexpect just kind of came about,
Yeah.
And so I remember when I first heard it just thinking like, I don't know about this, but I remember the song that actually got me into them was the Meet Me at the Carousel song. Like that was a song that I felt like was accessible enough for me to memorize and remember and everything. But
almost
then
seems like the most accessible track on the album.
Yeah. And then some of the other tracks started fitting into place, and I was like, okay, I understand what they're going for. But I think for a lot of people, like, it just sounds like a mess or something, But I don't know. For the past, 15 plus years or whatever, like, I've just been like, this is the kind of album that I share with people just to kind of throw people off. I'm like, you want to hear something cool?
Yeah.
Especially
people that are not even like they don't know a ton of like extreme metal. They don't really know. It's fun to just see their reaction to it.
Well, because I was playing Feasting Fools with my coworker and two other people, and everyone was just quiet. Everyone was just like, yeah, Kevin's just doing his thing, or whatever. And so, anyways, I don't know. I don't think they liked it though.
Yeah, understand. This is the kind of album that like you do need to spend a ton of time with it in order for it to make sense, for it to click. So it is one of those records that if you're looking for something that's just easy to just enjoy right away, it might take its time before it unfolds, because it might just come and go, and then you're just like, well, that was a bunch of like crazy noise and stuff. But I don't really have a whole lot to say either. I remember going through this album with lyrics with you like 4 years ago, 5 years, something like that. I remember we went through it, and I like this album. I think it's a fantastic record.
We actually have two copies of this. This version is the one with the EP We Invaders on it. And then I think, is this our original version from way back in 2007?
It might be, or we might have given that version to Chad. And then this might be the other version. Yeah.
Yeah, because, but this one's a little bit newer.
Yeah,
like,
usually, it goes that
this
way.
way. Yeah. So, anyways, cool. We are going to be reviewing each track. We're going to be giving each song a 1 or a 10 rating. 10 being masterpiece, 1 being like terrible. And this album is actually going to be really hard to rate, because I don't know what a masterpiece is for Unexpect standards, or what, so it'll be interesting to see how we talk about it. Because some
of these songs will have moments that we really like, and then other moments that are like not as, it might be harder to judge it.
So I mean, let's hop into it. There's really not much to say except, I don't know, I think that this is the kind of band that people will talk about just to be like, oh, look how much metal I know. Look how much, just so that people don't feel left out in knowing stuff. But I don't know of anybody that actually enjoys it, that actually listens to it, absorbs it, enjoys it. Granted, I've never met anyone that actually listens to Unexpect. But even like online people, I maybe someone will write a review and be like, like say something like respectable. But I just get the impression that not a lot of people really like delve into it and really absorb it and enjoy it. I feel like maybe it's a bit of a like an intellectual weight, like when people want to like appear smart or something, be like, oh yeah,
I also think that it probably was a bigger deal back when we were in high school, because I remember folks being more wrapped up in this album, whereas the past like 10 dozen years is when a lot of the metal YouTube channels and stuff kind of came to life. And a lot of those channels usually want to focus on what's new and up and coming and stuff. So
Right.
a lot of those channels rarely go back and show you what was, already done or something. And so I think that maybe the timing also, like, I wonder if people are not as familiar with it today. But
Yeah.
back in the day, just like that Spiral Architect album,
Right.
back in the
yeah.
day, these albums
That-
really made waves in
I-
the sort of like online community. But the
Yeah.
online community was smaller back then because the
Yeah.
internet just wasn't as, like
And-
YouTube was brand new practically when this came out. So
I thought, like, back in the day, I thought Spiral Architect was always going to be revered, always going
Yeah.
to be remembered. Now it's just completely forgotten. I never hear
Yeah.
anyone talk about Spiral Architect.
No,
Like,
me neither.
it's just,
and
it's
that
gone.
Spheric Universe Experience album, that
Yep.
was another one that
Yep.
people were like, this is like the best album. And
Like,
it's
I
just-
remember
it's interesting, though.
there was a site that it got like the best album of 2007, that
Yeah.
Anima album. But yeah, it's just times are different.
And
now.
it's just weird because I wonder if like it's like a changing of the guard, like the old
Right,
guard
right.
of people that like metal magazines and stuff. They may have really enjoyed that stuff, but then the new guard of like YouTube reviewers kind of take the mantle of no, this is what's the coolest stuff and whatnot,
Right,
and
yeah.
kind of interesting. Not good or bad, just different eras, I guess.
different eras, yeah. So
Should we jump into Chromatic Chimera?
yeah, let's jump into it. And we got our trusty lyrics, and
Yeah.
they do spit out the lyrics very fast because you've got like multiple vocalists on this album,
Mm-hmm.
and I think the bass guy's got like a freaking 9-string bass and all this other
Yeah.
stuff. Like, they're pretty eccentric. They're from
Yeah.
Canada, but I'm not sure when they like disbanded or whatever. But like,
Yeah.
I think it was maybe in the mid 2010s or maybe a little bit later than that.
I just
don't
know that 2011 was their last album, and they haven't seemed to have done something since then.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But-
Maybe they still toured or something. I have no idea. I don't know.
Yeah, but I just, I don't know. Before we jump in, like, they've got a violin player, they've got
Yeah.
a piano guy, and the piano guy's always hitting, like odd notes, and it's an interesting, experience. So thank you for joining us, and if you want to support the artist, like, definitely buy the albums and help them out and everything
Yeah.
if you're into this. But
Yeah, this
Yeah.
will be an adventure for sure.
yeah, yeah,
It will definitely be an adventure.
yeah,
You ready for this?
yeah,
Here is Chromatic Chimera. This one's good.
yeah.
One of the
This
highlights.
is a great intro song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Whew. Maybe we need to crank this a tiny bit.
Yeah,
I
a
don't
little
know.
bit.
Just
Like, I gotta take my sweatshirt off, man, for this.
Yeah. neutral, it's gonna be a nightmare hearing this, you know.
Oh, Isaac Perlman? No. He's like the famous violinist guy. He did like the Schindler's List. Like,
yeah. So this is your start.
Man, I want to give that a 10, but I kind of want to hear your thoughts and everything. I really like this song as an intro. I like that it like comes in pretty quiet, and then the drums are just
I like that build up. That build up's pretty cool.
You know, and it just, you know, I mean, I'll be honest with you, all of the lyrics, like a lot of it's just kind of jarbled, like nonsensical, whatever stuff, you know. I think like the band members have like an idea of why they were doing certain things, and like I can't remember it. Maybe it was Desert Urbania or something. Like there was something in Desert Urbania that meant a lot to them, like lyrically and stuff. But you know, this is just me reading crap, you know, 10, 15 years ago, and so I don't know what all the lyrics are going for. You know what I mean? So let me put that out there, that a lot of them are just kind of there. But I don't know, there's something adventurous about their sound. I like how I like how well put together they are with like how many members they got, 6 or 7 or whatever.
They got
you know?
a lot.
Like, but
I don't
like
remember how many.
I love that everybody shines. I like that the violinist guy will do a part. The piano guy is awesome. Bassist is awesome. The guitar, like I enjoy like everybody on here. And what's the female vocalist name? Because like I do like her vocals on this. Is that her name?
I don't know.
Yeah, because
Lylandale.
Because I really love her vocals. I think she does a great job of adding a bit of like I'm not sure how to put it. Like I don't know if it's like cabaret or what her influences are. But I feel like there's this influence that's not like a normal rock influence with the way she's going about singing and stuff. And so it's just, anyways, I'm gonna give that song a 10. I really like Chromatic Chimera, you know, and but again, it's hard because it's like, you know, I don't know how to. I feel like I'm at a loss for words where I can never really convince someone why I think this is so awesome. You know what I mean? Like it's just.
Another thing is you've listened to it a ton because you remembered like during the song, you know, all the little parts, the drumming and whatnot. You know, you've listened to this a ton. You know,
Yeah.
I've listened to this a ton also, but definitely not as much. You know, But I think the piano guy sticks out the most on that first track because he's always doing kind of cool stuff. They do have that sort of like, I don't know, I guess it's like like
like a little swing and a little
it's like a little swing kind of vibe or
1930s
something. Yeah,
swing.
like it's got that vibe to it. I do like all the different vocals and stuff. Like this would be a different album if it didn't have her singing also. If it only had the two guys doing the different, like one guy's doing like more of the death metal growls, the other dude's doing more of a maniacal kind of screaming growl. It'd be different if it was only them. Like I could see some people listening to this and thinking this is just sensory overload. It's just too much craziness going on and whatnot. But there is some cool ideas, and it does have a structure, even if the structure takes some time to get used to. You know, I'm giving it 8.5. I think it's a great start. I don't know if I'm gonna give anything a 10, maybe except for the Shiver. You know, like the Shiver, that trilogy.
Those three,
is my favorite in the album, but the rest ranges from good to like really good, and this is definitely one of the really good songs on the album for me. Should we move on to Feasting Fools?
Yeah, and hopefully the first track doesn't scare people off, you know, because it is sensory overload. There's a lot going on. Most of the music, honestly, a lot of it is just like in 4/4 time and stuff. So there's not a lot of like crazy weird time. It's not like they'll like just do a 7
bombast with music. Don't worry, Brandon, we know this is your jam. You know?
It's just like but they cram so much in just that measure, and then the next measure cramps so much, you know. So it's just it switches up a lot and everything, but there's not a lot of just I guess since we already mentioned Spiral Architect, I feel like this might be a little easier to follow than like Spiral Architect. Yeah, you know, and that's just me, but.
Yeah, and they have enough like flourish, like they have enough like violin idea, guitar little part, and bass part solo. You know, like they have enough things to make it still like parts kind of stand out. And it's not completely like they repeat things too. Yeah, but they just happen so quick sometimes. It's just, you know.
I guess that's the thing that I find that I do consider this like a masterpiece in avant-garde like genre or whatever, because like to me, the fact that they can cram in so many ideas but still maintain like a lot of melody and a lot of like direction. I guess I feel like they do have direction, even though at first you might not see that. And I don't feel like they're on purpose trying to just wank, do a lot of wankery just to throw off the listener and everything. I do feel like they do have a direction. It's just you have to find what that direction is. Yeah. You know? So
sometimes progressive music could get that tag of like, oh, this is very self-indulgent. Right. Just showing off how like technical they are and stuff. Right. And I don't know. I guess that's just in the eye of the beholder, but I feel like this is still like really good music. You know, I don't know. Yeah. You ready for Feasting Fools?
Yep. Let's do it.
Feasting Fools. They eating stuff. definitely one of the more extreme middle ones. You might have to do that throughout this album a lot, you know? Feasting fools in a soiled bubble bath.
The table is set for tragedy.
You know, that one I do really like. I think the chorus is really cool. I just love that sort of, I don't even know what it's called with the guitars and bass and stuff doing that. Like that sounds really cool. It sounds like an automaton sort of like lurching forward or something, some unstoppable beast or something. It does lose me though, like after the second chorus a bit, when they kind of just go off and whatnot. That part loses me. I'm leaning between 7.5 and an 8. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I'm giving a freaking 10. Man, I love Feasting Fools, man, because there's so much going on that it's like, I mean, this is a song that I still sort of like learn new things, you know, just from paying attention to a different instrument at different parts and everything. But I like the drums. He's constantly like, you know, it's just, he matches the bounciness that the bass player and the guitarist do.
Yeah.
And every time like they go back into, you know, it's just like, it just, you know, I gotta look up this guy's name because like props to the drummer, man. The drummer guy puts everything together and keeps everything going, and it's just it's awesome, man. So
I'll say 8 for now.
Yeah, I like Feasting Fools, and I like how that
I like the electronic stuff they do later on the album. I forgot that actually Feasting Fools, they kind of introduced it there, you know.
Exactly, yeah, and that's why like it gets, this band gets lumped into the avant-garde genre because you've got like weird like what was that one band you got into? They were like, it was all electronic music. I thought it started with like a number.
Electronic music, huh?
Yeah, it started with a number. It's like
electronic music. What kind of electronic music?
Not as melodic. Not as melodic as like there was a phase that you were really playing this album a lot.
Are you talking about 65 Days of Static?
Yeah. 65 Days of Static. I was like 65 something.
Yeah, you know, like electronic with post rock together. Yeah,
right. That I remember you were playing that.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to the 65 Days of Static. Like you were playing that album a lot. I don't remember the name. Okay,
I was playing that a ton at that. Yeah,
but I remember like hearing that album and hearing glimpses of this and thinking that they had similarities, especially with like the track 5 Silence 0.
Yeah,
you know?
0 1 whatever.
You know, because I liked some of the. I'm not a big fan of like a lot of electronic music with like industrial noises and a bunch of random like dubstep. Like I don't really care for like dubstep and you know whatever, but I feel like they add in just a little bit of electronic that adds a little bit to the chaos, I guess, but doesn't like, I feel like it enforces what they're going for. I don't feel like it's like distracting, but
it's not any more or less distracting than anything else that they do.
Anybody else, like,
you know, it just adds to the chaos. But it does add some more variety. You know, whether they're adding cabaret stuff or industrial or just extreme metal of like what every kind. Like it's, you know.
So it's kind of weird because like they say like, you know, oh, this person's a puppeteer, this person, you know, does mountain, this guy does, you know. But I think it's Landryx, Morphing Beats. So I'm willing to bet that the guy Landryx is the drummer. And I think he's doing a great job. Eggsod is like pianistic attacks. So it's like, okay, so he's a pianist, you know. Chaos. I remember the Chaos guy because, you know, that's...
Is he the guitarist?
No, he's the bass guy.
Oh, bass guy, vocalist.
So he's a lot more...
Didn't this dude do vocals too?
So, yeah, guitars, vocals, piano, Yeah, Landryx is the drummer guy. I just think that he does a great job of adding to the
Exod, piano and samplers.
Yeah. So Syriac, Artagoth, and I guess like Lelendel.
These are the two guitars.
Yeah, and vocals, and then Lelendel is like the lady, the female vocals.
Leigh Baudelaire is the violinist.
Leigh Baudelaire. So, anyways, it's just. Cool. I don't know. I don't have much more to add for Feasting Fools except like it's just
a dope track.
It's a dope track, and I don't know. I feel like non-music people never in a million years are they going to get into this. You know. But if you want something ambitious, then it's like check this out.
This is the first song I ever heard by them when I was like checking them out. Yeah. First song, Desert Urbania. I think they had it on like their MySpace or something like that. Like I don't think they had Shiver, any of that kind of stuff on there. I think some of those songs came when we bought the album.
Oh, you know? I feel like Desert Urbania. I feel like this song is probably like their most famous song for some reason. Like I think it's like
it might have been the single. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Right? Yeah,
as singlish as this music can be.
Yeah.
Should we move on to Desert Urbania?
Yeah, let's move on.
Here's Desert Urbania, the single. Oh, wrong one. They might have even had a video for this, I thought. I don't know. I'm kind of curious. Love how it always is like unexpected. It's like, I thought they had. Maybe it was Desert Urbania. I don't know.
Yeah, 15 years ago. I mean,
yeah, it could be. Yeah. It's funny because these songs were like cooler to me when we were first getting into this, and the heavier ones were the ones I couldn't get into at all. And nowadays, many years later, the heavier ones, I'm like, no, those are kind of like cooler, you know. And then it's just like crazy, and then they just go chill again. It's like all the way down there.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
It looks like fish. I mean,
Yeah.
the double piece and stuff.
Yeah.
Perspective, I don't know, got used to humans.
Whatever that means. It's like those old movies where they're trying to build suspense, like in 1920s silent movies.
Oh, that's exactly.
Yeah. not work anymore? Like, for crying out loud.
Yeah, type just the phrase in Google itself. Don't even go to Google Translate. Yeah, just type it at the top and then just say like meaning or something.
They just have like unexpected stuff.
Bummer,
I
man.
don't know.
Do you like
Kind of weird.
awesome paint? Yeah, your inner vision. Drop the. Pretty dope.
Yeah, I remember that song being like pretty cool, but as the years go by, like I always just thought that one part when the dude's going all wild in that one lyric section. Yeah, this part. He's like, truth the shadows of light, sense of nation, proclaim. You know, he's like going all wild. In this perspective, I remember like hearing that and being like, oh, this band's crazy. But like, I don't know, the song doesn't do as much for me as like maybe the first
it's my
two.
turn to go first, but I mean that's fine. Like,
what do you think?
But you keep going. Sorry to ruin your train of thought. You know?
It just doesn't do as much for me.
Yeah.
What do you give it? I give it a 7.
Man. So this song's normally like a 9 or a 9.5 for me, but like today I was really digging it. So I'm gonna give it I'll give it a 9.5. I feel like 9.5 is more reasonable for what I normally, because I do like tracks 1 and 2 more.
Yeah.
But man, I love just like the beginning and the outro and the way they build it up. It just, I don't know, man. I do like this song, but yeah, I feel like maybe 1 and 2 have more of a punch, but I feel like this one is a little more sly, a little more cool and stuff. The way it's just to express. You know, it just, I feel like it's a little bit more chill than the first two, but
yeah, for sure.
But like, I don't know. I was really enjoying this time around, you know, like I think it's a cool song for sure. And I like everything in it. So I don't have much complaints, but
yeah,
I do think that they do spit the lyrics pretty freaking fast, like, you know,
in this track.
So it's hard to follow sometimes. And but
yeah.
Anyways, not much more to add, but okay, let me put it this way. Track 3 to me is the song where the violinist guy really shines. Every time he comes in and you know, it's just I feel like the violinist guy is like the most important musician for this song, and I don't know, so I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But anyways,
ready to move to Sunny Scenes?
Yeah, let's do it.
This is one that didn't click in the early days, but then later on, I'm like, yeah, that song's pretty dope.
Right.
This is like one of the better ones.
I do like this one a lot, but I am conflicted. But we'll get there. Yeah, I'll explain later.
Yeah, here we go. Desert or not desert? Summoning Scenes.
That's us. Drop the
the second. Yeah, now we're in the second half of the
breather. Get a drink after that. There's definitely parts where I'm just reading it and I'm like kind of like, oh, okay, we're jumping in here. You know, it'd be interesting to hear like their practice sessions.
I know,
like,
I know
how they even began. And then you do this, and then I do this, and then we do this. And, you know, yeah, you know, like that would be kind of interesting.
Yeah. This is you, man. What do you give that one? It's
I'm gonna give that one a 7 as well. It's kind of on par with Desert Urbania. I do like that little like softer section, the first little bit, but it's too long. It's like 7 minutes and 40 seconds or something.
Yeah.
It's too long of a track. It's great, but I like the first two much more than these next two. But I know the album will pick up again come like track 5 through 9, basically.
Yeah.
I think 10 is the only track that I'm probably gonna struggle with. Everything else from here on out, I think, is probably going to get higher. But I don't know. What do you think? I'm just not as much. Yeah, not as much to say, I guess.
So for me, like the first half is a solid 10 for me. I love that transition. Like, so they start off the song, let us paint your inner vision, drop the curtains,
cool.
and then it goes on a freaking rodeo ride. Like it just goes wild from there, and it's just whenever she comes in, there's a tiny sign, it just it feels jazzy, it feels swingy, and it feels just awesome. And then like they'll do a number of things, but then whenever they transition back into the paying for the second time, it's just like, dude, like when that happened, like I was getting shivers because I was just like, that's how you do it.
It's a cool ominous vibe to it.
Yeah, it's so, and I do love the whole, defy to
unify,
deny to mystify, defy to unify. And so it's just, imply to glorify, it's really cool and everything. It's just that I struggle a bit with the second half. I like that it gets kind of quiet and everything, but I wanted to bring back some of that that intensity of the first half, like
that's true.
I love how they say like, each representation is unique, and I'm fine with that kind of outro per se, but I don't know, I kind of wanted to hear them like maybe ominously being like, let us paint, each representation is unique.
And then keep on repeating it.
While getting crazier and crazier,
that would be cool if they kept repeating that.
Like I would have been like, dude, so many scenes, man, so many scenes. So I'm gonna give it a 9.5 because I like it similar to Desert Urbania. But this one, like, I'm more so excited for the first half. And the second half, I still really like the second half and everything. I just, you got me riled up and everything.
Skewered
I wanted it
on
to
a
keep
numeric
going. Yeah, anyways.
Yeah,
so.
I definitely feel like it loses steam as it goes.
Right, yeah. And this is, the fact that I've got higher scores than you, it's no surprise. No surprise.
I'm not surprised.
Because I just, like I said, man, I love the drummer too. The drummer, because there's things that he's doing, where I'm like, dude, he did that exact fill earlier on and stuff. And I connect these things.
Is this probably your favorite avant-garde metal album?
Yeah. I mean, Sham Mirrors.
I'm a Sham Mirrors guy.
Yeah.
You're whatever this is now. In a Flesh Aquarium guy.
I like Arcturus, and
but the drums and music is probably more involved in this compared to Sham Mirrors.
Yeah, there's a lot more going on
Different
with
beasts.
this. Yeah, and so I just, Hellhammer is great, but like I don't know, this is more adventurous, and they're really pushing the envelope. I felt like hearing this, I felt like, holy crap, music's moving forward. Like,
And they're both, it's like, okay, sure, they're both like different albums, so it's almost like hard to compare them because those two they're like different from everything else, but they're also different from each other too. It's just kind of
sorry, as a side note, I remember so we were getting into like Sleepy Time Gorilla Museum, in 2007 also, and they had that song. It was, what's it called? It was track 2. Yeah, Helpless Corpses Enactment. There's a part in Helpless Corpses Enactment where it's like pauses, then you hear just a ding, and then they go back. And but it's funny because like when I heard Feasting Fools, there's like so lustful for words, crushing, by the words of the, I was just kind of like, wait, who did the little ding first? And then I was like, oh, this came out in 2006, and I don't know, not like it's any,
not like avant-garde metal bands have to have a ding part.
But I just remember listening to both albums and then being like, they both have like this solo little, little bell of the ride or whatever, and I don't know.
Yeah.
For those of you who wanted to know, just a side thought, whatever. So. Cool. Anyways, I'm glad we're going through this though, because it's definitely a beast of an album to get through.
Yeah.
And sensory overload is a good way to put it, but I don't know. I go through it just fine. It feels great to me, but I can understand if it's too much.
Yeah. Other people may be in your camp, and other people may be in the other camp. You know.
Yeah. Honestly, this next song is one of the chillest.
Like the chillest. Yeah. It's like the instrumental.
Yeah.
You guys ready for Silent 011010701?
Got it.
I read it right. This one is pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
This one is pretty dope. Thinking Devil Doll intro, though.
Yeah. Totally Devil Doll. Like, yeah.
Mechanical Chimera.
This is great on headphones, though, as it's going in both ears and stuff.
Yeah, true. This is like the closest to over that they get.
Oh yeah.
Some of that freaking all that stuff. Mind trap.
That was some money on the cooperative. What do you think? Oh, wow, that's for Satan.
That was funny.
It's like, I don't know, just some evil stuff. Like, you hear these, like, snare hits, like, coming up, and it just reminded me of 65 Days of Static.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's been a while since I spun that album. That album's great.
like, those, like, kind of fading out, too. I don't know, it just, there's, and it's been, like, more than 10 years since I've heard that album, too, so.
Yeah.
Throwing some clocks.
I know. Clock noise. Like, what this song needs is some clock noises.
I really love this build.
This really sounds like over, like the ominous sort of electronic vibe, you know? And then all the over people are like, this really sounds like Coil, you know? And then the Coil people are like, this really sounds like Throbbing Gristle. It's just like, it never ends. It never ends.
See, even those cymbal sounds sound like just reminding me of 65 Days.
Yeah. No, I can hear that.
Yeah.
It takes a while to get going, but once it gets to this, I'm just like, yeah, you know, because it takes what, like almost 3 minutes, almost 3 minutes to get going.
Great, like lower sound, like. That's just cool.
And I'm glad they have more stuff like this to kind of change up the album too,
Yeah.
instead of just chaos, manic stuff the whole time.
Yeah.
It adds some variety to the record. like that Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy part where they're like, spring happy music, and then screaming loud stuff on his ear. And he's just like,
bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum.
yeah. What are your thoughts on this one?
I'm thinking I kind of want to give it a 10 because it's so freaking awesome. But it's like, I remember when I first heard this song, I was like, man, what the heck is this? I really didn't care for the way it started off, just like, what? And I was just like, oh man, are you guys trying to just annoy? You know, but I you know that Septic Flesh song, Babel's Gate, how it has that whole dun, 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 and all that weird part?
Yeah.
I feel like this song is similar to that in the sense that that weird section elevates the song, and going into the Babel's Gate stuff just makes me like, oh yeah. And I feel like I don't want the whole, you know, emotive melodic outro without this beginning half. Like, it's like I'm like, oh man, we gotta start off, you know, and I'm like, dun, dun, and I'm like, yeah, you know, because I know where it's gonna go.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's just, I don't know. What do you think, man?
I think the first half is not really like Babel's Gate.
but the same issue.
Time. no, that's totally fine. Like I think the first half is just kind of whatevs, and then the second half is where I'm just like, yeah.
I feel like
the Camelot guy is all just like rocking out and freaking.
But it's like I'm glad it kind of takes its time to get, because I guess let me put it this way. I have an issue with post rock because I feel like the payoff isn't good enough.
True. Yeah,
and I love that this song has a freaking good payoff. Yeah. And so I'm okay with you know, the build up and everything. It just, yeah.
I'm 8.5, you know.
8.5?
It'd be higher if it had a better build up, or, you know, like a better first half of the song for me, you know. And then I'd give it higher.
You weren't a fan of those clock sounds, huh?
I didn't want no clock sounds, you know. I didn't want that. But
I'm going to give it a 9.5. I want to give it a 10 just because it makes that outro, man, it's just so freaking good, you know?
Yeah,
but
it is cool.
But I'll give it a 9.5.
It does remind me of like 65 Days of Static when they go to some of those build-up parts where it's like, you know, like the fat, and it's all just like fast and intense.
Yeah, and a lot of mechanical sounding, like drums.
Yeah,
like
mechanical stuff going on.
Yeah.
And then it's just, I think it's a Weight Rescue when you got that positive, and it's like rocking out and stuff. Like, anyways, yeah. There's this part where all the notes hang, and then you just hear the guitar like slide up before the drum, the crazy techno drums, and all that stuff jumps back in. It's just awesome.
Sometimes it's the little things too that can really elevate songs and stuff. So
yeah. Megalomaniac Trees. This is the one that I never really liked, but then I was like, it's actually pretty dang good.
Yeah, this one is like 6 and 10 are probably my least favorites, I would say.
Oh yeah.
So it is like a lower one for me, but I still enjoy it. Like,
yeah. I think 2, 4, and 6 were all like the those ones are all just chaotic. I don't care. They're whatevs, you know. And then all 3 of those over time were like, oh, these are actually pretty good. And then number 10 just never reached that stage.
Yeah.
Megalomaniac, you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Megalomaniac. remember there being this many much like non-English version of this. I guess so. What do we got? Like, what's some man? No. Yeah, like some kind of trumpet. Like a little thing.
Feels like I'm on an island. I like that slide bass.
For the shiver, I guess we'll just stop it kind of right before the next book or something like that.
Or let it play a little bit. Yeah, when we go to 8, we'll remind a bit second. Yeah.
That sounds like a good idea. That way we could at least show the drums and shit. That sounds like a good plan. Banger.
Yeah, that's a dope song. It's better than I always remember. You know,
Yeah,
when I go through it, I'm
me
always like,
too.
you know, this is better than I remember.
Yeah.
What do you give this one? We won.
Man, I think that might be one of I don't know, that might be one of the best so far.
You think so?
I think so. Yeah.
You sure?
I think so. At least
But
the 8.
isn't it shrewd?
I think I'll do 8.5.
Dang, you
maybe
like
on
six-
on par with Chromatic Chimera.
Wow.
Yeah, just freaking sick.
Dang. Okay, so why?
I like that whole like, and then the way the violin part before it too, kind of building into it and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like it's definitely maybe easier to listen to. Also, maybe less jumping around and stuff. Some of the horn stuff is kind of cool. Yeah, I mean 8.5. It was a cool song.
Man, interesting.
Are you giving like a 6 or something?
No. Well, I was thinking of giving it a 9, but I do think I like the first 5 tracks more. Part of me feels a little bit like Summoning Scenes. I might have a little bit more issue with more so the direction of Summoning Scenes. But this one is pretty freaking solid. Like,
and it's shorter than some of those others too.
Yeah.
Like the last I don't know, like 2, 3, and 4 are all like 7.5 minutes. And
right.
Stuff.
But for me, I don't mind the length if I'm
If you're
engaged.
enjoying it,
Yeah, if I'm engaged, I don't, you know. So
Yeah.
but this one, it's like maybe it's just one of those things where it's just, you know, like not necessarily fatigue, but I feel like there's sections in it that like maybe I would just like more in other songs or something. I don't know, but it's pretty
solid.
so I'm gonna give it a
Pretty
9.
solid song.
Yeah, I do think that this one is like in my like bottom 2, I would say bottom 2 or bottom 3. So yeah, not much to add though. You know, a lot of just straight double bass.
Yeah.
You know, so it's yeah, but it just kind of rides. Like that's just one of those songs that just kind of goes.
Yeah.
So,
You ready for the first part of the shiver?
Yeah.
This is another dissonant chord.
yeah, let's do it.
we're gonna just like all three of these next three songs are like supposed to be kind of a part of the same song or whatever. So we're just gonna let they lead into each other, so it's not a clean break. So we're just gonna let it play into the next, and then yeah. So here is Another Dissonant Chord. This is like the most beautiful-ish song, I guess.
A lot of it's in another language, so it's
oh cool. They got it translated. Oh, so I guess we could at least read that.
Thank you very much.
I know better than freaking Google Translate, not doing us a damn favor. You've seen it all, and we'll be the last one to sit down. Pour yourself a drink.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what language this is.
Never any symphony of pain. Apologies for your lives. It's at the sight of your last sight. Watch, that's not even like what she says.
I know, right?
It's just like.
I'm thinking this is probably Scandinavian language. Look at those F's are silent, you know. Those J's, those are silent J's. I know those are silent J's. Come on, old.
I kind of didn't want it to stop.
The next one.
What are your thoughts on that one?
Oh man, I like that one a lot. I think that's a fantastic song. It's very mesmerizing and everything. She has a beautiful voice. I'm gonna give it a 10. I do like this song.
It is dope. I think I'm gonna give it 8.5. It definitely feels more like a transition piece, you know. But she does have a really beautiful voice. But it does seem a little like unfinished or something. I don't know.
Like you wanted more. Yeah,
I wanted more. But I mean, Meet Me at the Carousel is gonna be freaking dope.
Yeah, I wasn't sure whether or not we should rank this song or not, just because I was like, well, it's like 3.5 minutes or something. So, but is it more of a transition or is it a song? You know, and we had the talk, you know, I think like a month ago when we were talking about it or whatever. Yeah. And so, I mean, I'm okay with rating it, but
yeah, we'll just rate it.
But what's there, I love it. So
yeah, it is really good.
Yeah.
Ready for the shiver? Meet Me at the Carousel.
So yeah, could you?
I just rewinded.
Oh, okay, that works.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna do the end of the track 7 and then go into 8.
Do you want me to do that or just start it at track 8?
It's up to you. Yeah. You know, this is Forgotten Original Sound. We do whatever.
Like 1960s, like
Yeah. War of the Worlds.
Yeah. That one actually ends much more.
Yeah, like it's its own song.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, bro. What do you think of that one?
I'd give it a 10. That's my favorite. First song to click on the album, like really click. I get lost during some of the blast beat parts, but as a whole, like the song is just freaking sick. And I like how they do the chorus once with like its own kind of, we'll drink our old epitaph. And then when they go back into it, it's kind of like the music is doing something different, but it's still just like the double bass, like just a good headbanging moment. Like,
Yeah.
dope song.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that a 10 as well. Like I said, this is the song that got me into this album. So this song like means a lot to me. And you know, it just all the weird like space, you know,
Those
like
are fun.
freaking aliens. Like this is such a fun song. You know, I enjoy it musically and everything. It took me a while to get that whole like, you know, it took me a while to get that, but now like when I have it now, I'm just like, oh yeah, cool, I got it, you know. But it did take a little bit, but anyways, so it's a fun song. I don't have any complaints. I love how the meet me at the carousel, and then the drums just you know, it's just, you know, he'll sit there, you know what I mean, and it's kind of cool. Like
I'll have to pay attention for that.
Yeah, because he's constantly doing like a more 16th notes, but then it's like a I don't know if it's more of a sextuplet or
17 notes.
8 notes and 6 tuplets. Anyways, but it's just kind of more of a triplet pattern, you know, and it's just So, anyways, just fantastic. Everyone did a great job.
20-second notes.
Yeah. Doing, a few 30-second notes.
You're like, that doesn't even make sense. And you're like, it's Prague.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that. You ready for a Shiver, My Clowns, My Trap?
Yeah, let's do it.
I like this one. This is my second favorite on the album.
This is another kind of different song. Like this feels more like, was it Winds? Who else had that violin in there?
I don't know.
Maybe not.
I mean, Winds did have violins in like one song, but
I can't remember because like we were getting into a lot of that stuff around that time. So it's like I have certain bands and certain songs like paired up with certain. Anyways, sorry.
yeah,
Go on.
I don't know. Here is a Clown's My Trap.
Yeah, My Trap. This is another kind of violin heavy song by and the Shiver Whispers, yo. All right, so my turn. I do like this song. It jumps right into it, which I really enjoy. You forgot how to. It feels very nice. I do think the second half of the song is less interesting for me. It kind of just I don't know, but I still like it. I'm gonna give this one a 9.5. I do think this song is really solid. And I actually kind of like the lyrics and everything in this. It just, I don't know. Again,
Yeah.
a bunch of freaking stuff I don't really understand, but
Yeah, I
you
feel
know.
like this is like the saddest song of the album. Like it's
Oh,
got
yeah?
kind of like a sad vibe to it, you know, compared to the others that is like crazy vibe, you know. But yeah, I don't know. It's the lyrics do seem sadder, I guess.
With the nails in the clown of the head, yo.
Yeah.
And I was like, snap.
Do the math for a decade to live chaos for a second. That's kind of a cool line.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's
I
got
do
some
like
cool little, yeah.
I do like that little violin outro part. You know, that part is just kind of cool. It does remind me of that In Glow Repose Sleeptime Gorilla Museum song. You know, like
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, It reminds me of that a
Or
little bit.
was
But it could just be our association.
I know
with
the
getting into
association.
Everything all in at the same time. You know, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did the night invade the day. We'll have to do Sleepy Time Gorilla Museum for the channel sometime. You know, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sleepy Time, who came out with a new album. I think they're coming out in like a week or so. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of
Oh,
interesting. Yeah.
nice. Yeah, but not much more to add to
Did I
this
say
song.
my score already or no?
Oh,
I gave it a 9.5. I don't know
So
if I said
kinda
that
similar
already.
to me, like-
yeah,
What-
great song.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do like those faster parts. Day you forgot. Like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah.
Ready for Psychic Jugglers?
Yep, the last track.
Hopefully, I could get more out of this one this time. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm gonna pay attention. I'll
Yeah.
try my hardest. Here is Psychic Jugglers, the epic.
I'd be surprised if anyone got this album, upon the first listen.
I know you're like, I got that.
Yeah.
Sporadic fireballs. I'm already lost.
Yeah, because that first bit wasn't even there. So that's the problem. Watch. I like how this is all like sad time, like it's just like
part that has the most like something you could cling to is really this part.
Right,
The rest
right.
feels like a little intangible, just kind of going. I remember they did this before, but it's kind of like it's not a melody where you're like, oh, that part was like, you know, it doesn't, you know, it's just not pushable. Even though they got that Chopin piano going.
Yeah. Then subconscious. Go back up. Open the blind here. Yeah.
Like I like it better when they're going faster. So some of you may say sensory overload, and we get that because that might be true there.
Yeah. Everyone just playing.
Back to silence kind of sound.
Yeah, that is kind of cool. I never caught that before.
Oh yeah, do they really go back into that, or I mean, it sounds like it, but
Yeah, because those notes.
Oh, those are the same notes.
Yeah.
Ah. Yeah, they also go back to the shiver and then later. Total nothingness. You say total nothingness? first, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. You're up, bro. Tell us all what you think.
Man, I'm sorry. That one just doesn't do much for me. I feel like it should have ended 5 minutes earlier. You know? It's just kind of a lot of the vocals and stuff are more of a hodgepodge and a mess compared to some of the other. Like the other songs, you legitimately can understand them and figure it out, and this one just feels more just like, oh, let's just have a bunch of chaos and
a bunch of like too much overlaying of like, you know, the guys are screaming over each other and stuff, and it's just it just kind of I'm giving it a 4. Below
average.
Woo!
It's 11 minutes. I know it's a little salty of me to do so, but it's just it doesn't do a whole lot for me. It's, you know,
so it's boring.
And it could be an
bothering you.
Yeah,
it starts bothering
11 minutes. You know, but I mean, I love the rest of the album. It's just this last song that just doesn't do much for me. You know, what do you think?
I'm gonna give it a 7 because I this is like my least favorite because I love the way it starts and everything. Dance, you know, and it's like it's got some great like bounciness and intensity, but ever since they like do the whole like to the opposite,
it just doesn't recover from there.
It just never feels like it recovers from there, and it just like I don't know. It just so I like the first half a lot more. I'd say the first half is more of like an 8.5 for me, but then the second half is more of a 5 or 6. You know, it just I don't know.
That makes sense.
So.
I'm gonna add up the scores real quick.
Okay. I just I don't know. I'm sure there's people out there that really enjoy Psychic Jugglers. I really love the way, you know, it's like, you know, like what do you say, like break the lock pick or whatever, open wide the arena's gates and let the goblins play, and then going into that bouncy, you know, like that's pretty cool and everything, but. Yeah,
I rated this higher than I did back a couple years ago when I rated this album.
Really?
Or lower, I mean. I think last time I gave it like an 8.3 or something like that, or 8 point, And I rated it mostly because I was way harder on Psychic Jugglers, I think, than I was in the past. But that's okay. It's, you know, it is the ratings of the day, you know.
Yeah, well, I'm glad we went through this album. Like, I'll let you, if you want to... you know, say the ratings and then do your closing thoughts and everything, and then I'll do my closing thoughts.
Sure.
And then we'll just close out the video, man.
Yeah.
For those of you who stuck to the end,
good job.
Good job, you know. But
congratulations.
But I wanted to do like I normally do like prog metal or like power metal, stuff like that, and I wanted to do something a little different. I'll try and do some more like guttural vocal type stuff. Like I'll try and do maybe a death metal pick here and there and stuff. But like, you know, probably like 10 to 20% of what I listen to is guttural vocals. So it's just, you know, I know there's a lot of people on the internet that love death metal, love like all the guttural stuff more.
Yeah.
But
in case you guys haven't noticed, most of metal channels on YouTube seem to be dominated by the death metal, black metal fans. Yeah. There seems to be a ton of channels more focused on pushing those genres. So it is cool to push other genres that don't like I don't know of very many channels that are focused on like traditional heavy metal or power metal. Maybe some old school metal channels. There definitely are some old school metal people on YouTube. But it does seem like there's an oversaturation of like, and it's like we love death metal, we love black metal and all those. But when it comes to trying to promote music that is maybe more underappreciated, we're probably going to lean more towards other genres that people don't talk about that much, you know. So yeah.
So what are the scores?
So I gave it the lowest score. I gave it a 7.95. Kevin gave it the higher score. He gave it a 9.4. So the overall score we gave in a Flesh Aquarium is 8.67. So pretty high, and the musicianship is great. Like these people know how to play their stuff, and it's cool that they went out to make something unique and different within a Flesh Aquarium. I think that's pretty cool. No qualms there. Overall, as an album, whenever you're in the mood for it, it really does. It is a fun album to go through. It's not something that I throw on all the time. Like it's not my bread and butter album that I go to constantly or anything. But I like it. I think it is a fantastic record. I guess I don't really have much to say. Just a great album and cool to go through.
Yeah, I echo the sentiment that I do think this is kind of a special little album. You know, it just. there's nothing out there that's like this, and I'm glad that they put something together, put in the time and dedication, and I really enjoy the drummer a lot, but also the female vocalist. Like I wouldn't mind hearing more of her from I that's the thing when this band like disbanded. I wonder where all of these musicians went, whether they're still doing music or what. Because when I listen to this album, I hear so many influences from other genres and things, to where I'm just kind of like, these guys are like trained up, like they're
straight up.
Yeah, like they definitely have some like training and stuff in their instruments and so on and so forth, as well as just like their influences. That they jam a lot in here, to where like listening, it's like, okay, I know these guys are coming from a place of a lot of music, and so
they didn't just disband and be like, not really a fan of music anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like, I just picked up snowboarding instead.
Like, so anyways, it would be interesting if there was like a documentary out there of just kind of the story of Unexpect and them coming together and whatever.
That would be really cool.
I wouldn't mind learning more about where these guys are coming from.
If they have footage of them like practicing, that would have been really cool to watch something like that.
I just and that's the thing with our channel, is we want to keep talking about bands and albums and things that may not really be discussed anymore. And so anyways, I had a good time going through this album. It's a great album, not much more to add, except again, thank you all for watching, and let us know what you think of Unexpect in a Flesh Aquarium. Whether it's you guys got into it, what your story is, like whether it was difficult to get into or not. I think this album definitely has a pull to it, this invisible pull, where I think some people would just be like, I don't care for it, but I have to listen to it again. So I think there is a little
intriguing.
bit of it's intriguing.
It's different, for sure.
And so, anyways, let us know if you have any stories with Unexpect. But otherwise, we'll guess you got the next album to pick. And thanks everybody for watching. We're Forgotten Legends of Sound, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.